doing my first one-off video here on the branded podcast channel. My name is Ashley Wynn. I am the head of client relations over at Accline Creative. And for this week, I thought it'd be fun to dive into the brand messaging behind the best and worst Super Bowl commercials of 2024. I'm gonna go from worst to best and kind of get into the underlying undertones of some of these commercials and kind of get into it from a brand strategist point of view about what makes these good or bad commercials, in my opinion. And what are these brands really trying to communicate to us with these commercials? That's a little bit of where I'm going here, but that doesn't mean it's not going to be fun. So first on my list for the top 5 worst Super Bowl commercials, number 5 comes in at the Uber Eats commercial for me. The Uber Eats commercial was a funny concept. Have to give them that. They cast it really well. Production value was amazing. Comedy was awesome. Did all the right casting, all the right things. But overall, it's a commercial for Uber Eats. At the end of the day, they are just trying to distract us and push us towards their product that is the most lucrative for them right now, and cover up the fact that as a company, they've made a whole lot of bad decisions. They do not stand by their customers. They offer zero customer service, especially on their rideshare front of things. They absolutely have abandoned their customer. They're just hitting us with a flashy thing that's lucrative because the surcharges on Uber Eats are insane, but they make the most off of it, and they want us to keep buying into that service. Meanwhile, as a company, 100% do not support their customer. At number 4, I'm going to give it to Verizon. It was just a really expensive, flashy commercial. It was exciting that Beyonce is releasing new music, and it's not a knock to her at all. It's just a knock to Verizon. They're a monopoly. In America, we have 3 main phone companies, if you would even include T-Mobile in that anymore. It's really just Verizon and AT&T. They just dominate us, and we don't really get a say about it. They're just making a big flashy commercial. It doesn't really communicate anything about humanizing Verizon as a brand at all. Another brand who just doesn't care about the customer. Excited for Beyonce, excited for her new music, could care less about Verizon. At number 3, we have Drumstick. I don't know what the heck that was. It said absolutely nothing. It communicated nothing. It wasn't a good commercial. It wasn't funny. I don't find Ericandre to be funny at all. I don't know if he wrote the commercial. It was not funny. It was uncomfortable, and it was just downright terrible. And I get the same vibes from him. So feels like he wrote it. Nothing about the brand was communicated, and the whole situational comedy that they try to create around it just absolutely made no sense. Completely waste of space for me. Let me know if you thought I missed the mark there. Is there something I'm not seeing? Because it just, why? Hi, come here, Sam. Come here. Come on. Yay. Since this is my personal video, I'm still gonna have little buddy with me. Sorry, Sierra, you've been replaced by Sam. We all knew this was coming. He takes over everyone. Look at his face. Look at his face. Do you want to help me? No? No, you want snackies? So number 2 for the worst commercials of the Super Bowl, I have to give it to VW. VW had a kind of lengthy commercial. Obviously, they spent a gajillion on it. I thought so many things were not okay with them choosing to make this their big brand statement, to really make themselves this whole American heritage heartstrings pulling attempt that they've done. Really doesn't make any sense to me at all. They're really trying hard with this commercial to reignite some nostalgia for the VW brand here in America, while distracting away from all the unsavory things that this brand has done in the past at least decade of their presence here in America. I just can't get past the fact that the commercial starts with the VW arriving on a boat, like it's got some amazing immigrant story. That's how any history of VW as a brand that's where it starts for us. You didn't just show up on a boat one day in America. We're just supposed to accept you as some new history. That made no sense. I'm sorry. I'm really ripping this commercial. It really burnt my biscuit because we are a VW household. We've been loyal to the brand for generations now. And so I think I can speak from experience of how they have gone downhill, and that they do have Americana and nostalgia, but the current brand today, that's gone. I was one of the first owners of a Teos, and it had electrical failure on me on a busy boulevard in Orlando. They did absolutely nothing to support me as a customer when that happened. They tried to tell me it didn't happen. They completely gaslighted me. They have not accepted responsibility for it as a company. They had a big recall on the Atlases instead. So, the time is coming where they're going to have to take responsibility for that. But given all their other unsavory problems, they're doing anything possible to not take any type of accountability for anything they've had wrong as a company in the past decade. But they're having some serious issues. And so this is just a really weird commercial where they're making an attempt to just be a clean, safe brand again when you're not. And they're trying to roll out the ID bus at the end. And that's just all weird to me, that you're just trying to be like, and the good times roll forward and we're still that American brand you love. You're not. You owe your customers accountability and some trust gained back, which I don't have. I got a Passat from 2020 and it's actually given me no problems whatsoever because it was built well, but that doesn't really restore me as a customer. This commercial was just an epic waste of money because they just really tried to gaslight the entire way through it. My number one was the Scorsese commercial. I don't know if you were able to make your way through it. I barely was. It was for Squarespace. Scorsese directed it. He has like a cameo at the very end. It was very strange, terrible, pointless, and just once again from an overrated director. I don't know. I was really like an adult when Scorsese was in his heyday, so now I'm just used to old, tired, low effort Scorsese and really long effort Scorsese that's just like mentally beating us all down for no reason. I don't know why we keep giving him so much accolade, because I just really wasn't part of a time where he was making good cinema. And this was absolutely horrible and made no sense. Like, I don't know what Squarespace is. Not from that commercial. So those are my top 5 worst that just kind of made no sense and didn't resonate with me at all as a consumer, or just kind of enraged me as an informed consumer from brands that have burnt me as a customer, and kind of, in my personal opinion, as a general consensus, people are not happy with these certain brands, and it was just another weird money grab attempt, or to just gaslight us into thinking that they're doing any type of good or they still have any kind of customer interest. And on to the good part. Here are my top 5 best Super Bowl commercials. I know I went in hard on those worst ones. There were some really great ones. Let's turn the ship around and come in happier. Number 5 would be the Doritos commercial for me. I thought it was really cute. I thought it was a really nice representation of Latino culture, or Latina in particular, where it's just a girl shopping with her abuelitas. That was super cute. It was funny. It was showing them with strength and that they were capable of strong arming anybody for their Doritos. I thought it was very funny. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. Number 4 is the Dove commercial. I thought that was a really nice commercial. Dove is just a recognizable brand, so it was nice for them to take a more social awareness stance for women. It was cute, just showing like girls who are failing but learning on their own when they're little, to then turn it and say that like a lot of them give up on their dreams or just give up on participating because they feel body image issues and uncomfortable. And that was a really powerful thing, that like just to show the reality of that, and that it's something that we could easily put a stop to, and if we just put a little oomph behind it. And it's nice to see a brand just bringing awareness to that, because Dove doesn't need to really do anything else about their products. They've kind of done it all. They've been around for a long time, so it's nice that they're just focusing on efforts that way, and that they showed it in a really beautiful way. It's a nice commercial, and it starts off funny and then has a nice heartwarming undertone to it. And number 3 for me, from a branding perspective, the Reese's commercial was really good. It really showed the climate socially that we're in, where everyone just is so quick about their reactions to brands, where Reese's is like, we're bringing out a new product, and everyone just freaks out, where they're like, we like the original, what are you doing, you're so stupid, like how people act. And it was just really playing on that, of just how silly we've all become. So I thought, like, from a branding perspective, that was amazing. They communicated everything they wanted to right away, and they let you know, hey, we are bringing out a new brand, but it doesn't change anything, don't go crazy. So it was just funny that they simulated that, and that was really ingenious as a brand. My number 2, I don't know if this is controversial. I loved it. I thought they handled it well, like from a brand perspective, that the benaffleck Dunkin' Donuts commercial was really funny, really cool. They brought in the right people. It was good PR for Ben Affleck. It was great PR for him and J-Lo as a couple. They need it. You know, if you Google anything about them, it's a little roller coastery. So it was great. And then to have Matt Damon in it and Tom Brady, and then to do something funny as a brand, but then have head to toe branding everywhere was done really well. The walking down the path together at the end was A plus, and saying, oh, they're naming a drink after us. To just say that like off the cuff just lands perfectly, because now you're going to go to Dunkin' Donuts and ask for a drink. They just nailed it. It was really good branding, really smart. My number one, because I just thought that it was really nice the way that they handled this and the way that they really set themselves up, in my opinion, with the direction of this commercial. And that would be the Google Pixel phone. I thought that was a beautiful commercial. As a one-off commercial, it was a beautiful message. It was beautifully done. From a branding perspective, it was amazing that they took it from a blind person's perspective, or someone with very limited vision, that this phone was still useful to them and that they could still create memories with this phone, and that there was new technological capabilities to allow anybody of any able-bodied range to experience this joy and feel included. So I think that not only they made a beautiful commercial about people with limited eyesight capabilities, which is something that my family experiences, but also they set it up for a campaign that could continue to all able-bodied ranges. I don't know. I hope that they continue this as a campaign, because I would like to see people connecting with their families in ways that they weren't able to prior to this technology. So that was definitely my number one. It was heartfelt and emotional, but a really well done, well thought out branding achievement, where this is not just a one-off commercial. You could actually make a campaign out of this and be so memorable. It's nice to see that. I think my top 5 had some refreshing aspects that I have not seen in commercials lately. Like, I started off real hot with those top 5 of like, I'm just so over conglomerate brands, monopoly brands, just shoving things at us, when like we just want a real message from you again. We just want to be humanized by you. We want you to have a customer service line. We don't want to talk to your robots. We don't want to be bullied into contracts where we can't get out of with you because you're just the only provider in our area. Like, all of that, so much of that just got me heated about this whole Super Bowl again. But then you have those top 5 that really actually put some thought and some effort behind these commercials. I hope that this roller coaster I just went on might have restored your faith a little bit too, in the power of branding and the power of turning your brand around, or just keeping true to a brand, how to just do good branding. It's still out there. It still exists. And with that, I have some honorable mentions. The State Farm commercial, fan favorite. It's a great one. It was great. It was fun. For me personally, I didn't think it was anything that was so different or really makes me want to go be a State Farm customer, but it was cute. It landed well, you know, just seeing Arnold do something and Danny DeVito coming out. That was fun. Number 2 would be the Hellmans commercial. It's hard to make a mayonnaise commercial when everyone's going to have that backlash of like, it's just mayonnaise. It's horrible for you. But the way they did it was pretty ingenious and funny, and played on the social zeitgeist we all live in of this cat gets so famous about mayonnaise, and now everybody wants mayonnaise because of this cat, and we are like that. It's hard to put it in my top 5 because like mayonnaise is still really bad for you. And then my number 1 was the Mountain Dew commercial for my honorable mentions. I'm not going to endorse Mountain Dew. It's bad for you. I don't ingest it. The way they did the commercial was cool, in my opinion. It was cool that they used Aubreyplaza because she's queen. It really just read like an Axe body spray commercial with a female lead, and I thought that was fun. You know, it's a fun commercial. It's just I can't really put it in the top 5 because we're not going to endorse Mountain Dew here. Those are my top picks for best and worst of the Super Bowl commercials. I hope you enjoyed this little rank. I hope to hear what you think I missed or should have added in, and what your top 5 would be on either end of the spectrum there. Thank you so much. See you at the next sporting thing. Go sports. See you.